Question 8a is as follows. Illustrate the solution of y is greater than or equal to x plus 5 on the x or y plane below by shading the wanted region for the domain. -3 is less or equal to x, which is less or equal to 2. Okay, so this one will give us the domains that are variable. Okay, so what I'm going to write is I'm going to write this one for the statement that will give us domain is -3 is less or equal to x, which is x is less or equal to 2. Okay, so this is the statement that will give us the domains. Therefore, the domains will be these. We'll start now. We include -3 because of it's equal to -3 is equal to O. So the members of the x-axis will be -3, -2, -1, 0, 1. Again, we include 2 because it's less or equal to 2. So you say 2. These will be the members of the domain. Now, these are also representing the numbers on the x-axis. Okay, so now we should look for the range. Since we are given the domain, we should look for the range. Now, for us to find the range, we're going to use the expression which is given: y is greater or equal to x plus 5. Okay, that expression, that function will help us to find the range. Okay, so I can write this one here to say y is greater or equal to x plus 5. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to replace x by -3. Okay, so I'm going to replace x by -3. So I'm going to say y is greater or equal to, then x will be -3. Where there is x, I'll put -3 plus 5. Okay, now once I've done this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write y is greater or equal to. Okay, then we say which number is bigger between 3 and 5? Ignore the signs. So we say 5 is greater than 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to write, that means we know now. We are not going to write before we know the sign. So now we know that 5 is greater than 3 and 5 is a positive number. That means our answer will be a positive. Okay, so you can either put a positive sign or leave it like that, because we know that a number without a positive sign or any sign is a positive. So we say 5 minus 3 will give us 2. Okay, so when a domain, or when x is equal to -3, then y will be 2. Okay, y will be 2. Then we come to the second domain given is -2. So we use the same function, which is y is greater or equal to x plus 5. Then we say y is greater. Okay, now what is the value of x? We're saying it's -2. So when x is equal to -2, what will be the value of y? Okay, when x is equal to -2, what will be the value of y? So we say y is greater or equal to, so which number is bigger between 5 and -2? We know that 5 is bigger, so our answer will be a positive. So then we say 5 minus 2 will give us 3. Okay, so when x is equal to -2, then y will be equal to 3. When the domain is -2, the range will be 3. Okay, if you have got questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel before we go to the next question. Okay, we find now the value of y when x is equal to -1. So we're going to use the same function, which is y is greater or equal to x plus 5. Okay, now once we've done that, we're going to write y is greater or equal to, the value of x is -1, then plus 5. Okay, then we write y is greater or equal to, then which number is bigger between -1 and 5? Which number is bigger between 1 and 5? Let's ignore the signs. We know that 5 is bigger than 1, so we are going to take the sign of 5, which is positive. Then we say 5 minus 1 will give us 4. Okay, now you should know that when you write a number without a plus sign or without any sign, that number is a positive. So we're going to say comma 4 here. Okay, when x is equal to -1, then y will be 4. Okay, now we work for when x is equal to 0, what will be the value of y? Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to come here on the left side of the screen where I'm going to write y is greater or equal to x plus 5. Okay, so when y is equal to, okay, we say y is greater or equal to, then we have said the value of, we're looking for y when x is equal to 0. So we're going to say x, where there is x, we'll put 0 plus 5. Then we have got y is greater or equal to 0 plus 5 will give us 5, and that is the value. So that is the value. So we're going to say, we are going to go where there is 0, we say 4 comma 5. When x is equal to 0, y will be equal to 5. Then we come to this one, the next one now, which is 1. When x is equal to 1, what will be the value of y? So we write y is greater or equal to x plus 5. Okay, then we say y is greater or, well, yeah, y is greater or equal to, well, then the value of x, we have said it's 1, so we say 1 plus 5, which will give us y is greater or equal to 1 plus 5. Since the signs are the same, we add 1 plus 5 will give us 6. So when x is equal to 1, then y will be 6. Okay, I hope you are following me. If you are confused, if there is anywhere where I've left you behind, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really want to grow in numbers, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, now once we've done this, the next thing we're going to do is, now we're going to find the value of y when x is equal to 2. So we say y is greater or equal to x plus 5. Okay, then we say y is greater or equal to, the value of x we said is 2, so we write 2 plus 5. Okay, then what will be the value of y? Y is greater or equal to 2 plus 5. Remember, when the signs are the same, we add. So 2 plus 5 will give us 7. Okay, so when y is equal to 2, when x is equal to 2, then y will be equal to 7. Now we have found the range, we have found the elements of the range, so now we can plot the points. Okay, so here, without wasting your time, we are going to plot the points, so pay attention. The way I've arranged the numbers, the number on top and the number down, remember, the number on top, that is x-axis, the reading on the x-axis, the number down, that is y-axis. Okay, so we are going to come up with the coordinates for these points. Okay, so now we write the coordinates. Okay, these are the coordinates that will help us to draft or to draw the graph. So the coordinates we are going to come up with, so this one here will be our first coordinates. Now remember, when you're writing coordinates, you write them in the way that the readings on the x-axis is the first code you write, then the reading on the y-axis is the second. So the first coordinate we have is -3, 2. I'll put these in brackets. The other coordinate we have is the second one here, where we have -2, 3. Okay, I hope you are not confused. If you are, please don't waste your time just ask in the comment so that I can re-explain this same thing I'm doing here. Then in the next one we have got -4, -1, -4. -1, 4. So I've got -1, 4. Okay, we close bracket. Then we have got the other point is 0, 5. Okay, then we have got another coordinate which is 1, 6. Then we have also another coordinate which is 2, 7, which I'll write down here. I hope you can see it. So I've got the other one is 2, 7. Okay, now these are the coordinates we have come up with, and they're going to help us to come up with the graph. Okay, so let's write the graph. Okay, so to plot the graph, let me start with pointing the code which is -3, -3, 2. So -3, that is the x-axis, and that is +2. So that means the first point will be here. So I'm not sure if that is not the actual center. So bear with me if I struggle to come up with the actual center. So it will be here. Then the second code is -2, 3. So -2, 3 will be here. Remember, -2 is coming from the x-axis and 3 is coming from the y-axis. So 3 is coming from the y-axis. We have a point somewhere there. Then we have got -1, 4. -1 is the reading on the x-axis going to -4 there on the y-axis. Then we have got 0, 5, that is 0, the reading of the x-axis, then 5 on y-axis. Then we have got 1, 6, 1 with the reading of 1 on x-axis and 6 on the y-axis, like that. Then we have got 2, 7, the reading on the x-axis is 2, then on y-axis is 7. So we are going to come up with something like this. Okay, now once we have done this, that does not symbolize that we have finished answering the question. In fact, we have just begun to answer the question. All these things we are doing was just to help us to come up with the points. Okay, now once we have done this, then I'll bring my ruler here, try to twist it so that I can reach the point. Okay. Okay, so that way, even if my lines are not going to be accurate, but for you in class, you make sure that the ruler is passing through the edges of the corners, exactly at the corners of each square, like the way I've tried to put. Okay, then so our answering of this question will end when we shade. Okay, now once we have done this, then we have drawn the line. Now let's go back to the question so that we know the exact area we want to shade. Okay, so the question is, illustrate the solution of y is greater or equal to x plus 5 on the x or y plane below by shading the wanted region for the domain -3 is less or equal to x, which is less or equal to 2. Okay, now so what we need to shade is we need to shade the area which is greater in the question. They are saying y is greater. Okay, so anything that is bigger than where the line is passing in terms of y. That's the area we shade. Okay, so what we're going to do when shading, we will shade like this. Okay, don't worry, I'm trying my best again so that I don't ruin the drawings. Okay, so this is the area that will be shaded. Okay, okay, so this is the area that will be shaded, like the way I've shaded like that. Okay, so that is the area that we need to shade, not the area down, but the area up. Okay, so if you've got questions, you can ask, but basically this is how you answer this question. Okay, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be very grateful if you subscribe to our YouTube channel.